No, it's going to be really fun. Hey, this is Mitch. This is Mike. This is Mitch and Mike's voiceover journey. Thank you so much for joining us today on the program. Oh my goodness, we have Kelly Moscinski. Kelly, how are you doing? Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me and for saying my last name correctly.
I am usually the worst at getting people's last names correct. I don't know how many times I mispronounced Katie Joe Stock's last name.
Oh, yeah.
It got to where I was doing it on purpose, just as a bit.
Remember
yes,
Tommaso? Tommaso? You remember?
Tommaso?
You remember him?
No.
That was a toughie, too. The guy from Oceanhorn, yeah.
No, I don't remember that one because that was one that you did on your own because I was out of town.
It.
So
yes, maybe you didn't watch it. Okay.
Yeah.
I botched that name so bad. That was a first name.
Well, we got yours right, Kelly. And,
yeah, we did it.
We're so glad because we want to make a good first impression on you. So
yeah.
Thank you again for joining. And for those of you, Mitch, you want to give our listeners kind of an intro to if they're just under a rock, who exactly Kelly Moscinski is.
Kelly is a fellow Michigander, a Youper, if you will, to my troll. I'm going to ask way more about what it's like living up there, but I don't want to tell your whole story, but you are a casting director who willingly, freely, and constantly gives out so many juicy morsels of information on your podcast with your partner, that I'm like, where's my pen? And then I just sit there and, sigh and listen, because I don't know how many things you have to listen to, how many auditions you have to go through, or how many people you have to train, but you're in it every single day. You're doing this job. I imagine you work on the weekends too.
Oh, yeah.
Oh boy.
The life of a casting director.
That might be the best intro I can give without giving away all of the stuff I heard on Big Rob's podcast. And he's so good at interviewing too. But
we love Big Rob.
We love Big Rob, and I can speak for Mike that it's so cool even being able to talk to you just as a human and get to know you as a human and not just a casting director on the other side of the table that we never get to see or chat with. Mm-hmm. So thank you for that.
Yeah, we joked about it before we hit play that it's nice to get in this room, have a pleasant conversation with Kelly so that we don't run into her in Dallas because she'll be at One Voice for the first time and be those people, because I've been those people and we've seen those people that just hi, can you get me farther in this industry because you're a big shot?
Yeah.
And so we can be friends, we can be pals in Dallas, and that'll be awesome. So
unless I ask one of those weird questions that
remains to be seen.
Remains to be seen.
Then it's a void. Okay.
We'll
then it's like, oh no, there he is.
There's Mitch and Mike. Okay.
No, don't lump me. If he asks the question, don't lump me in with him.
It's Mitch and Mike.
We can still be friends even if Mitch botches
and
this.
Mike.
Yeah, we walk through this life together.
Yeah, it is a package deal.
Daggum, Mitch. Partnered up with him, so.
I know.
You knew the whole time.
So Kelly, as we do, we want to hear your story. We want to hear what got you where you are. And I don't know. I honestly don't know. Did you have a background in performing before you rolled into the casting directing? Because I think that is, seems like most people who cast and most people who are agents and most people who do things, they kind of started out on this side of things and rolled over to that side. So talk to us about the early days of being a creative and roll us through.
Yeah. So, I mean, I essentially started in high school with acting through drama club and theater class that I had taken and all of that. I loved it. I loved the directing side of it. I loved all the different pieces behind the scenes. I liked being on stage. So all of that, I actually started off as a dancer. I was a dancer for many years. You'll hear that whole story on Big Rob's podcast.
And maybe here as well.
Can we get a chunk?
But
Can we go a little piece of it?
yeah.
Let's just cut this interview short and just say, just go listen to Big Rob.
Listen, and then
No.
come back and we'll get into it.
So I was a dancer for many years. I did ballet for a long time. I also did a lot of sports. I did volleyball, basketball, all of those things. I had a couple of injuries. I had knee surgery, and then I had to have reconstructive ankle surgery, which kind of ended all of that. And so that's when it was kind of like, I loved dancing on stage. I loved performing, in that regard. And so that's when, I kind of started to get into choir and drama club and, all of those things. It was probably, I think it was my junior year of high school.
Wow.
And I was like, oh, I love this. This is amazing, And so yeah, when I went to college, I originally went to college for pre-med. I was planning to be a psychiatrist, so my focus was in psychology.
Where was that?
Which at Northern Michigan University, so way up north. They had a great pre-med program. And yeah, so that's where I was planning on going. And then my first semester, I was like, oh, I'm going to take a theater class because this is so fun and I want to keep learning about it. And, you got to take all your electives anyway, so I might as well make them fun. And I loved it. My instructor was, he was just on Broadway and had just started teaching at the university. And I was like, this is kind of cool. I like learning from him. He encouraged me to audition for a show that he was directing. I prepared for the audition, and then I was like, you know what? I don't know that acting is what I want to do. I was like, but I want to be involved. So I ended up applying for a job at the box office. I got really involved backstage. I did a lot of the behind the scenes work, and then I did do some acting. I did end up on that stage, not for that show, but for other shows. I ended up, doing some things in the Black Box Theater and, things like that. So, and main stage and the smaller theater. But I kept going back to directing, and then I kept taking classes because I was like, okay, but I love this. And then I was like, finally, I was like, what am I doing? Why am I doing pre-med when I could be doing this? And I was like, but I can't just switch to a theater degree because that's crazy to go from I'm going to be a doctor to I'm going to do
Your
something.
parents would have
crazy.
disowned you.
You know what?
Yeah.
So then I switched to education. And basically, I did everything to complete an education degree except for student teaching. And I got into my fourth year of college and I was like, nope, I'm just going for theater. Like, this is what I want to do. I'm going to make it happen, figure it out. And then the theater department actually offered me a full ride to stay for my master's degree. So I got my master's with a focus on playwriting. And so I did a lot of, I was the first student to direct on the university theater's main stage, ever. So that was kind of a big deal. And then I was doing a lot with like the community and all of that. But while I was directing, I had friends who just worked at local radio and TV stations, and they started saying, hey, you work with a lot of actors. I need a voice for this. And it was kind of one of those things where I was like, yeah, this person would be perfect for that. And they're like, okay, cool. And then it was like, and then I would be recording these people and, directing. And I was like, this is kind of cool. Moved out to LA. And then when I got here, it was a little like, oh, do I want to be an agent? Maybe I want to be an agent. Do I want to do more voiceover? Do I want to do on camera? I interviewed at a few different places, few different, areas, and I interviewed at a talent agency the same week that I interviewed here at Voicecaster, and I was like, yeah, I don't want to be an agent. That's not my thing. I was like, but as soon as I walked into Voicecaster, there was something inside me that said, I'm going to own this place someday. And that was in 2009. I owned it by 2013.
Now, I have heard you say that, and I was ready for it. But it's still, when you said it, it's like, how? I mean, like, what was, looking back now, what was it about that place that was yours when you walked in?
like it felt this sounds so woo-woo, but for me, so much is about feeling. Like I get a feeling from people when I meet them. It's like I know if I want to spend time talking with them or if I just want to exchange pleasantries and move on, right? But it's the same thing about certain places. And it's just, I walked in and I was like, wow, this is comfortable. I can see myself here in another 30, 40 years. It's like this is where I belong. There was something about it when I walked in. I was very much like, I belong here. I don't even know that I can explain it. It was just a feeling.
I want to dig into it a little bit more too, because I'm assuming people obviously had something to do with that, right? Was it like as soon as you started, you got an idea of the process, and you're like, I like the way these guys do things, or was it just
before that?
The casting? Was it?
I hadn't even interviewed yet. I literally walked in and I was sitting in like the lobby area waiting for my interview.
So you liked the wallpaper and said, this is where I need to be.
It had wood paneling everywhere.
That's why you needed to own it.
And that's why we're renovating.
That's why you needed to own it. You needed to change the wood paneling.
So we got rid of the wood paneling. You can see behind me, we've recently renovated. But no, there was just something that people have always said about Voicecaster when they come into the studio. They're like, it's so cozy. Like, it feels like home. It's not like, it's like we've never been like, nothing wrong with marble floors and, whatever. But like, that's not what this place is. This place is a lot more comfortable. And there was something about that where I was like, oh, probably my Midwest Yooper upbringing. It was so not LA.
That's what I'm imagining. Here's what I'm thinking. You're a kid, right? And all the parents are upstairs smoking and chatting after dinner. All the kids are sent downstairs where
in the basement.
Maybe there's one couch and maybe one Nintendo. And there's definitely paneling on those walls. And there's definitely an old smell to that. See, Mike, a basement is these rooms that are under a house that are...
You mean below the floor? I don't understand. Here in Texas, we don't do that. No.
Yeah. I can't believe I got to do that to you. I'm sure you've had a basement before. But...
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I'm imagining. I want to go there now. Even though there might not be any paneling, I want to go.
There's still some paneling, don't you worry.
Haven't gotten to it all yet, huh?
We have not gotten to it all yet.
That much, eh?
Yeah.
That's funny.
Well, I do want to back up a little bit, because one of the things I was curious about was you said you were doing things. You got your master's. You were in Michigan, and then boom, you moved to L.A. What was the catalyst of that? Because was it just that's where the things happen, or was there something specific that drove you out there, or what made you come to that decision that I need to be in LA?
The funny thing is, I originally was going to move to New York. It's like, and then I ended up staying for my master's degree for 2 more years. So a couple of friends that I was going to move to New York with, they went on to New York and I stayed back. And then my boyfriend at the time, who is my husband today, he actually was like, well, I'm going to LA because he's an actor. And so I was like, you know what? LA is warmer. Let's do it. See what happens. Like, I'm like, I'll make anything work. I've always had the attitude of like, I'm going to follow dreams. I'm going to go out there with, like my savings account and no job lined up. Cool. Let's go.
Wow.
I've always been very much an action person. And so, yeah, for me, it was like, let's just go. What have we got to lose? So.
And you won.
And I didn't have a job for 4 months.
And how is pretty boy husband that you followed to L.A.? How's he doing?
He's just good. Yeah. He's working. He's an actor, so he's doing great. He loves it here, And it's one of those places now. Like I can't imagine living anywhere else. Yeah.
Really?
We don't live in the crazy parts of LA. I mean, there are much more chaotic parts of LA. So I married
Give
a
us your
dairy farmer
exact
from
address.
Wisconsin. So dairy farmer from Wisconsin. So he is also not a city person. But you know, it's like our studio and everything is here in Burbank. So, and Burbank's a little more small town feel compared to, you know, we're not like in Hollywood or anything like that. So we get the wildlife in our backyard. Let's just say that.
I lived in Burbank as a wee lad in the early 1970s.
Any good bird action in Burbank? You know, what kind of good birds are there?
I mean, some. I just recently got a bird feeder with a camera. But the squirrels, man, I got a really chunky squirrel who just keeps coming back and eating everything. So I see a few birds, but not too many.
Mostly the squirrel.
Okay. Dang squirrels.
Opportunist
Mostly
squirrels.
Cute little squirrel.
Fine. All right.
All right. So now we're at the Voicecaster. You hired on in 2009. Before they even hired you, you said, I'm going to own this place. 2013.
You slave.
You own it. So take us through, like, from that point in 2009, and just kind of give us some progression about what has happened at Voicecaster. How it's grown into your baby now, and what it looks like, what kind of changes you made, what kind of exciting things you did to make it the company it is today.
Is this just Devil Wears Prada? Is that is that what everyone should be imagining?
Pretty much.
Okay. Yes. Perfect.
You're that.
Go ahead.
You're
Oh, boy.
I thought you were a nice person.
I am. So yeah, it's when I took over. So first of all, when I started, everything was in studio. So we were only casting LA talent. Everybody had to come in studio to read. I actually started the day that I interviewed.
Doing what?
Wow. They liked you that much, and they were that desperate.
He hired me like on the spot. And well, here's the funny thing is I actually had sent out cover letters and resumes. So, you know, you're not emailing all this stuff or, filling out applications. Mm-hmm. Yes, real paper. Yeah. I paid real postage. I hand wrote all these, but I sent out 350 to 400 cover letters and resumes before I even came out to LA. So he had actually held on to my resume until October. And then called me when he had an opening.
Whoa.
So, I came in for the interview. And then right after that, he's like, why don't you go out into the studio? We're casting a big spot for Verizon right now. So I was like instantly thrown in. There were a few like big name people. And I'm like, what am I watching right now? I'm just like, I'm literally just sitting there like shadowing, watching the directors. And I'm like, this is super cool,
So they didn't even start you with like, hey, we got a spot for Bob's Discount Furniture. They threw you into the wolves with Verizon and big name actors.
Yes. I didn't even start off answering phones or anything. Like they threw me right into the studio. So I was like, this is cool. Like I love this. And then, over time it was one of those things where I have a very strong work ethic, and I'm one of those people. I like things to move efficiently. I like it to be effective. So I kind of just, at first it was, it's unpaid training for the first 2 weeks. I'm like, okay, I don't know if this is legal. I don't really care. I'm going to own it someday. So it doesn't matter. Let's do it. And so I essentially like sat at the desk that was right next to my boss, the owner, and I just went to work. Like I found things to work on. There were people, it's like I was told at one point by some of the people, like, don't work too fast or there won't be enough work. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, there's
don't make us look bad is what they were trying to say. Yeah.
I've heard that so many times.
And then 4 years later, you were their boss and you told them what to do.
No, like 6 months later, one of them was let go. Another like probably 6 months after that, another one was let go, and I was like, I think I just replaced 3 people.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, But yeah, and I basically then, I worked my way up. I was kind of doing everything. I realized like, oh, like he's showing me the books that nobody else looks at. Like, this is a good sign. And then I went away for a week to Hawaii for my birthday in 2013. And when I got back, the Monday I got back, he was like, we need to talk. Let's go into a studio so we have privacy. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm getting fired. Like, why am I
Right.
getting fired? I
Yeah.
didn't do anything. Like, yes, I took a week off, but like, I didn't do anything wrong. And then that's when he told me, he's retiring, moving, and his house is in escrow, and they're moving in 2 weeks. So I had 2 weeks. He's like, go ahead and go home and think about it. I was like, I don't have to think about it. I've already made this decision, when I walked into this place that, I would take over when the time
Wow.
presented itself. So yeah, so then the next day we literally started the paperwork, escrow paperwork, all of that stuff for me to buy the company and take over. And he told me he had multiple offers, and if I didn't take over, he would rather close the doors. So I was like, well, it could have been the end of Voicecaster or just a new beginning. So we made it a new beginning.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what did that look like, the new beginning? What, I mean, did you have things in mind as soon as he said, I want you to take over? Were you like, were the wheels turning of like, oh, I want to do
I
this and I
already
want to do that?
knew, yeah, I already knew all the things that I would change to make things more efficient, to make, to just as far as communications. At that point, it's like everything was still like pencil and paper. I'm talking like invoices, like invoice law, like everything was how it was done in the 80s still. And I was
Ah,
like, okay,
You're
we
like,
need to
we're moving up
update
to
some
faxing.
things. Yeah. I mean, thanks to SAG, I didn't really get rid of
we're
the fax
getting,
machine until two
we're
years ago.
getting
Or no.
pagers.
Right. So yeah, and shortly before, about a year before I took over, he was asking me about, my boss was asking me about like, is there anybody you think would be good for the position? And I knew Kathryn from working at the Colony Theater together, and she had just been laid off from the Colony Theater, was working a different job that she was not a fan of, and I was like, I know the perfect person. So when he hired her, I also kind of knew like, okay, this transition might be sooner rather than later, because he kind of, wanted to hire
Wanted you to
somebody
get
that
your
would
people.
exactly.
Yeah.
So then right away, I've obviously been working with Kathryn for I don't even know 14, 15 years now. But she's my right hand. She's me when I'm not around. But yeah, so it's like I started off, so she went through all of it with me, and we revamped everything. I mean, I essentially was still teaching all of the classes. I was teaching Monday through Thursday in the evenings, all of the in-studio classes. We still had, everybody was coming in, but, we're trying to open that up a little bit more. So if an agent pitched somebody who wasn't in LA but had a home studio, starting to try to open things up a little bit more like that. And then, yeah, once we finally got to the point of, oh, well, you know what? We should open up some of our workshops and things like that. Like, we have a lot of people who are not in LA who want to just take a workshop, whether it's our audition class or, whatever it is, one of the beginning classes. I was like, we should probably start doing some online classes. And then the world shut down and forced us to do that. So I was like, well, I knew this was coming and I knew we were going to do this. So
How are you ahead of the curve
do
on
it.
everything,
Yeah.
other than breaking
Because
your
everyone
bones,
else
but-
has been like, I mean, it sucks that it's such a major point in everyone's timeline.
Yes.
But most people we talk to, whether it's voiceover, whether it's agents, casting, whatever, things changed after COVID. But you were already had things in motion
Yeah.
to go that direction anyway. Did that did the timeline speed up for you, or are you pretty much already there?
It sped up a little bit because and honestly the biggest reason was because so we were told to shut down the office March 20th. And I had classes starting like April 1st or 2nd, like a new round of 4 nights a week classes. And I was like, I can't cancel all of these. Like, people are excited about these classes. So I'm going to take the next week to figure out what Zoom is. And guys, now we all know. I'm like,
Yeah,
I'm gonna figure out
I
what
think
this
maybe
is.
1% of us knew what Zoom was before
Right?
COVID. Yeah.
I know. And I was like, I can do this. Like, I'm just gonna adapt. Like, I've always been very adaptable. I've always just shifted. If I need to shift gears, I shift gears 100% and I just go in that direction. Like, that's just kind of always been me. And so, yeah, I was like, all right, well, we're gonna do this. So I'm gonna adjust how my classes are. I'm gonna, make sure I have everything where I can, send out copy, because before it was just like I bring the scripts into the studio, students show up, ta-da. But now, it was like, okay, I can do this. And I had that week after we shut down was very quiet casting wise. So it was one of those things where I was like, okay, well, I have the time and energy to put into this. And then, yeah, that second week then, like, classes started. Everybody was excited to do it, even though it was virtual. It's like I don't think we lost anyone from the classes who were like, oh, actually, I'm not going to take it right now because life is weird. It's like, I might as well,
Might as well.
What else am I going to do? And so, the hope is by the end of a 6-week class that the world is open again. And it absolutely was not.
Not quite.
Took 6 years instead of 6 weeks.
I plead the fifth.
Right. So yeah, and then casting picked up, and it was like I was so grateful to be in the part of the industry that we are in, because it's like once it started back up after that one quiet week, it has not stopped.
Wow.
Like, we really haven't, like, I mean, a quiet time now is like 5 projects in a week instead of 15 or 20, so it's like we're still busy even in the quiet times. Whereas before, it's like we might go a couple weeks without a project that we were actively working on, or it was really in like pre-production. So it's like we weren't casting it for another couple weeks, or, things like that. But yeah, since COVID hit, it's been even crazier. And then, of course, we switched our entire way of doing things. So we never got rid of our studios. In fact, we're adding another studio with our renovations. But a lot of places, like, they're like, oh, I'm not gonna pay rent anymore. I'm not gonna have studios. We're not gonna do in-person auditions. Actors are just gonna direct themselves. It's like all of these things kind of became the norm, but we still do, have people in studio for auditions if they want to. It's now just optional. It's like, if you want to come in and get directed, or if you, want one of our directors to direct you on Zoom, we will do that. If you want to just self-submit, that's cool too. So it's like we had to kind of develop, all of these things that we never had before. So actors that we were working with all the time, agents that we were working with all the time, it's like we kind of had to redo all of our systems. Pre-pandemic, casting was very different because we would send out the spec, the project, all the details. So at that time, pre-pandemic, 10, 15 years ago, it was like 80% union, 20% non-union. Complete opposite now. But pre-pandemic, it was very much a thing where we would send out to the agents and they would send back demo reels. We would listen to all of the demos and then decide the 10, 15, 20 people who we were bringing in to audition. And then those people, if you came in to audition, unless something really crazy happened during your audition, you were being sent to the client. Now, everybody's auditioning for everything and not necessarily getting through to casting or through to the agent or through to the client. Sometimes people aren't getting out of their agency. Their agency isn't even sending them to me for me to even send on, so it's like there's a lot of hoops to jump through now as actors.
I found that out like a year or two after I was sent. I'm like, wait, they're not hearing it?
Yeah.
Nobody's hearing this freaking thing?
Right?
It's
You
crazy.
record and send it off, and it's like,
Yeah, We do the work for
What
nothing.
is going on? Yeah.
And
So, can you? I mean, I don't even know if you can. I'm going to ask the question.
Ask it.
I have questions
Can
too.
you sorry.
No,
You
no,
get
no.
the
Good,
next
good.
one. I will.
Good,
you
no,
get
no,
the
no,
next
no.
one.
Good, good, good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. So, if you can, like, raw numbers, percentage, just ballpark figure, like, take us through. You have a spot. You have a national commercial that Voicecaster is casting. From point A, which is, I mean, first of all, how many agencies are you sending that out to?
Verizon.
Yeah, sure.
It depends. So I will tell you, once in a while, they are specific on like, oh, we want LA talent. And I'm like, why?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like,
They all
why?
saw the same.
Why
Yeah.
why are they
Those
lame?
Californians,
Like, oh, you're so cool.
they want that
because you're in
Californian voice.
No.
No.
Nobody in California is from California.
No.
Like, come
Yeah.
on. So, so I battle things like that sometimes where it's like, okay, whatever. But I do have, for me, I have a few different ways that we cast, and we do cast differently than others. I mean, just from being on casting panels, talking to other casting directors, being friends with them, it's like, I know we all have our different ways of doing things, which is awesome. It's like, that's why we each have the clients that we have. It's like, because we do things differently, which is great. And so for me, I have basically an A list of agents, a B list, and then like the rest. So my A list of agents, those are the ones that I send everything to. To be on my A list, for lack of a better way of like labeling them in my contacts.
It works.
To be on my A list as an agent, it is one of those things where we have to have worked together for a while. Like, there has to be that trust. There has to be that level of, I know their talent roster. It's like there's those kind of things. There has to be that trust there. There has to be that sort of teamwork, collaboration kind of a thing. There have been agents who are very difficult to deal with, so they're not going to be the first ones that I send to, right? I mean, that's just like anybody. Like, why do I want to work with the difficult ones when I have these 20 amazing people that I can be working with?
And 20 is still a lot.
And 20 is still a lot.
20
20 is
agents.
still a lot.
Yeah.
It is. But then when you look at like my full, I guess I'm going to send this to everybody, which a lot of times that ends up happening when it's something very specific. It's like, I'll send it to 100 or 110, something like that, agents. It's insane.
So
there's a lot of agents
There's
out there.
that many?
The
What the heck?
There
wow.
are.
Yeah, I need to get
There
some
are.
applications out.
In the mail.
So
Talk to
you
me, I'll
got.
send you lists.
Let's take something mid, where you're sending it to maybe your 20 A's and maybe half the B's. I don't know if you
Yep.
would do that, but how many submissions, like narrowing it down, how many are you asking for from each agent? Like, I want to hear your top 10 or your top whatever.
So here's the problem that I ran into when I was asking for, so when we pre-pandemic used to send it out for demo reels for them to pitch their talent, and we would screen everybody and call them in. We were asking for usually 3 or 4 demos. That was it. When we first shifted over to everything being a casting breakdown email and then getting auditions back, I would ask usually for 5 options per agent. However, I kept getting the same 5 people. And I was like, I'm sick of hearing the same 5 people. And I would ask the agents, and they'd be like, oh, but they're my top bookers. I'm like, well, yeah, because they're the only ones you're submitting.
Yep.
How is
That's
anyone
the
else
game.
supposed to book?
That's
If
what
you're
I
not
think,
getting
yeah.
submitted, you cannot book. So I was like, so I got to a point where I was like, whatever, send me send me the new people. If you have to send me your top bookers, fine, but make sure you send me other people on your roster. Because these, and this is big and small agencies, all different sizes. You don't have to be one of the top agencies in LA to be on my A list. In fact, some of them are not. And it's just because of the working relationship and things that have happened over the years. I've been at this almost 20 years, so it's like I know people well, and I remember things.
Well, as one of those non-top bookers, one of those little guys, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for maybe someday hearing my audition coming from one of my agents, because, all right, she wants the non-top bookers. I'll send them Pelletier. It'll be fine.
Here's the thing, and this is why we also have an internal roster, because there are so many great people out there, like both of you. I've heard both of your auditions. And,
It's like that was planned.
Wow.
That's hilarious. I love that. Do you guys do that often?
We're
we're synced up. We're
That's
like,
amazing.
we're
That
like,
needs to be like a picture that you put together. So, what was I saying? Now I'm distracted by
You've heard
We
our
derailed it.
auditions.
Yeah.
And
You've heard our
This
auditions.
This is why. This is why we have an internal roster too, because I book people on that all the time. And then, sometimes it just recently happened, and this was with a huge agency, where I booked one of their talent, and I booked him directly because he had sent it to us directly, and he's like, "Hey, can I put this through so-and-so?" And I was like, "Sure." He's like, "I read it through them." And I was like, "Okay." So I looked back and I was like, "They didn't submit you." And he was like, "They didn't submit me?" He's like, "'Cause I read it for them." And so even when I give the, go ahead and submit as many as you want, I will weed through them. Sometimes they're still not submitting some of the ones that I think are the best, and clearly the client does too and books them. So then ultimately his decision was not to give his agent the percentage because they didn't even submit him.
This is the first time information on this podcast has made me clench my jaw. I'm going to say that's so frustrating and refreshing to hear that. That and being on your roster.
Yes.
I know that. Yeah, you said you listen. That's so nice. Oh.
I'm 100% on the actor's side. It's like, it is very much one of those things. Like, I was very open with him. I could have been like, "Oh, sure, yeah, we'll put it through your agent who never submitted you." But I wanted, it's only fair that the actor knows that,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow. I did have one, but it's lost with all this great information. With all these great conversations. Mike, did you have a follow-up for that?
Yeah, I mean, again, everyone, any VO that's listening to us sees that, we have a big-time casting director on, and I am curious, too. What are you listening for a uniqueness? Do you know what you're listening for when you start listening, or is your ear open to, that's it, and like being surprised at, I didn't know that's what the sound I was looking for,
like a
but
Rick Rubin.
that's what caught me. And so do you champion uniqueness? Because again, I will tout my buddy Mitch here. His delivery is, I just think he should be like so freaking, like people hiring him left and right because he has a uniqueness about the way he sounds. And yeah, I know. Keep coming, right?
I'm blushing. No. It's hot and he's getting hot.
So
in here.
I mean, so I want to hear. Yeah, you're looking for unique, but yeah, I mean, what do you?
Yeah.
Yeah, there.
No, that is such a great question. I love that because it is one of those things where so often people get so caught up in the specs and does it sound right? Does it sound like a commercial? Do I sound unique enough? The specs that say, we want a uniqueness or we want it to be like different or unexpected. I hate all of those things in specs because every single voice is unique. That's it. Unless it's AI. But every single voice is unique. So it's one of those things where it's like, I'm not necessarily listening for unique vocal quality. I am not necessarily listening for, honestly, I don't even care about the specs. Half the time when I start casting and I start listening through, I don't even revisit the specs. I'm like, I'm going to see what I connect with. I'm going to see so for me, it's a lot of that hearing and feeling. It's more about feeling. That's why I often tell actors, don't go based on how it sounds when you're editing and listening back, because your ear is going to try to listen for, does it sound like a commercial? Or does it sound like the final spot? That's not what's going to book the job. What's going to book the job is the connection. So making the choices and having the connection in your script. I can hear in those first 3 to 5 seconds if you are connected to what you're talking to or not. And if you're not, on to the next. And if you are, I'm instantly like, yes, I want to hear more. So it very much is one of those things where it's like, it has to make me feel something. It's actually, I was doing a consult right before this, and I was talking about Kraft macaroni and cheese. A Kraft commercial.
I had some of that this
right?
evening.
There you go. I have a 5-year-old and an 8-year-old, so it's all the time at my house.
It's everywhere.
But it's like, what does that make you feel? What does that make you think of? It's not about selling Kraft mac and cheese. I'm sorry, they don't really need commercials, right? Not really.
Mm-hmm.
So it's about making us feel something. It's the nostalgia. It's bringing us back to our childhood. Maybe you were at grandma's house and she always made Kraft mac and cheese, So it's like every single thing that you're doing is about making somebody connect and feel something. And so that has to start with you. You have to have some sort of a connection. You have to have some sort of authenticity coming through, connecting to the brand or the product in order to convey that and make us feel something. So honestly, a lot of it is, how is this making me feel? What is connecting me to you? How am I going to relate to you? I hate the word conversational. And, it's like, if you've ever heard me talk, you've probably heard me say this, but I always say to replace the word conversational with relatable, because that's all we're trying to do is relate to you. It's not about the conversational style that we've kind of fallen into. It is very much, we want to be able to relate to you. We want this to be a connection, person to person, human to human. So and I can hear that. And I can hear if you've had a rough day. I can hear if you've done 20 auditions and you're over it. I can hear if it's 2:00 in the morning and you are exhausted and you don't even want to do another audition. It's like those things do come through.
I have done all of those auditions.
Right?
Yes, I
Right?
think we all have. Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
We all have.
Funny enough, I
options,
didn't
so
book
it's gonna
any of them.
I wonder why, Mike.
I'm starting to learn these things.
So I'm going to go back into the conversation again. Was there a moment where you said your team will help actors with their audition in studio, and you used to do that?
Mm-hmm.
So I can just type, Kelly, I need help with this audition, please. Set up a meeting.
Can I set up
5 minutes?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my word!
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, because we can do it in studio and we do it on Zoom.
wow.
Yeah.
That's a personal touch that you do not see
And
with a whole lot of agents and a whole lot of casting agents.
Yeah.
Wow.
Nobody does it anymore. Nobody directs actors.
I didn't know that was.
Directs actors anymore. I'm like, I am a casting director.
I got directed recently, and it was a dream.
I mean,
It was
you get
wonderful.
to get out of your head. You get to do what you're meant to do, and that's act. You don't have to be the engineer. You don't have to be the director. It's now, there's so much on actors now that it's like you have to wear all the hats. You don't get to just focus on your job.
I love that.
I do have to say you're talking about the way you lay your specs out is specific to Voicecaster. I'm guessing it's changed since you took things over a little bit.
Absolutely.
But I'm just happy to know who it's coming from. Like, someone will say, this one's from Sound and Fury. It's like, how the F do you know that? Eventually because you're in the business. But it's nice to know, like, hey, I'm sending it to this person, and they kind of like this, or their clients kind of look for X, Y, Z, or you're more into relatable. Some people want less, quote unquote. I don't know. It's just really nice to know. I have to say that.
And that's another one of those things where instead of just getting that immediate feedback, you have to go and watch interviews or take classes or keep an entire spreadsheet of every casting director and if they like improv or not, and if they like this or not. And it's like,
do you like improv?
I do. I love it. I love it. You can keep a lead in, like, yes.
Ooh. That's fun. Yeah.
So much more interesting, so much more natural, so much more connected. All the things that I love.
One good so really helps sometimes.
Yeah. Because it's funny because, you talk about, you mentioned it before, like conversational. It's such a BS term because so many of us are like, I mean, this is me. This is my conversational tone. Hey, how you doing? What? I'm not this guy. Talking conversationally, and sounding like I'm really interested in what you. No, I talk like this, and so sometimes there are those things where it helps to just kind of go, blah 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 blah. And it helps, and so often you gotta cut that off. But sometimes it flows in like, and then it's like, it's impossible. And I realize, crap, I got to redo that whole take because I didn't leave any space in between my beginning and.
The one word, I?
Yeah, I.
Yeah. I love
Or words. Sorry. Kenny, anybody? Come on.
No, not yet. So I'm going to go way back one more time. Had this one floating around. You have been training actors since you started, correct? Mm-hmm. And that was something your boss taught you. Mm-hmm. And this serves many purposes. You're putting better actors back out in the world. You catch the fish, you bop it. No, that's not what happens.
You give I wanted to see where this was going.
You get a good old fin, and then a little lipstick, and then back on the world. And then, I don't know. Okay,
I've never been fishing before. I don't know how it works.
Yes, little lipstick is what you do, so you know if you caught the same one.
Not what we need, but okay.
Then, so you have better actors in the world. You know now maybe who some of your favorites are when they do come floating back. I imagine you are getting some sort of minimal income, at least a way to weed out people who are just messing around to come to you and help out. What would you say? You're a teacher, partially, right? I mean, at heart, you took years of class for it.
You took classes to learn how to teach.
Exactly.
Yeah. And when I was doing my master's degree, I was also teaching, college level classes in acting and directing. So.
And that's just who you are. Obviously, you've been doing it this entire time, which is amazing that you get to do that, and you're not even a teacher, so to speak. But is that your favorite part? Is watching people grow, or are they all your favorite parts? Where like now you have this monster roster of people you've made way better.
Oh, that's such a good question. Like there are so many things. Whenever I'm asked like what my favorite part of my job is, my response is always like I love that every day is different. But for me, it really is a combination of the journey for other people. Like I absolutely love, for me, it's like I love seeing people's dreams come true. I love booking them on their very first voiceover job. I love, coaching somebody and then they book that job, or they're like, oh, Kelly, I was in this 3-hour session. It was grueling. It was hard, but I had your voice in my head. It's like that's why I do it. I do this because I am just like, I have always been I'm going to follow my dreams person. And if I can help somebody follow their dreams and have even the smallest little piece of their journey, I'm all in. So yeah, so I love teaching. Like it's always been a passion of mine. I love directing. I love casting. It's like and the combination of all of it. I've been told from a lot of people, like you believed in me before I believed in myself, or you believed in me before any agent or manager ever believed in me, and it's like I love that. And I think part of that too is like, it's like I talk about like I just get this feeling about people, and it's like I've been so many people I've met along the way where I'm like, oh, like they're gonna do huge things, and I'm excited that I get to be a little piece of it.
Do you get that feeling about us? No, I'm just
Yeah.
kidding. I'm not putting you on
Yes.
the spot. No, no,
Yeah.
no, no, no.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
why
yeah.
I'm here.
Yeah, totally. Totally, you guys. That's funny. Are we close? I don't know how close we are to
we're
the
getting close.
final
We
question.
we got a couple of questions.
Yeah.
We
Mike.
we can bounce
Yes.
around a couple more questions before we break into a thing. But yeah, I mean, where do you see? I mean, I'm sure Voicecaster is not okay. This is the final version of it, right? It's not like, I mean, you are a go-getter. You are a person who is. I doubt you are ever the type of person that would just sit on it and go, all right, this is as good as it's going to be. Do you have plans? Do you have ideas in your head right now where it's like, I'm planning on doing this and it's going to make Voicecasters even better?
So many ideas.
Secrets. Yeah.
Yeah, anything that's not secret.
But yeah,
Or
I
the
mean,
secrets.
I'll share some things with you. So first of
Yeah.
all, I mentioned we're building another studio, and opening that up as well. And then it's like, and this is kind of in a few ways. I have some things going on. So with Voicecaster specifically, we have our Voicecaster lab now, which just kind of came out of this idea of I love helping actors. I'm going to start a mastermind. So about 2 years ago, I started a mastermind group. I took on 8 actors and I just worked with them every single day for 12 weeks. And built some pretty awesome careers for
Wow.
people. And so I run that 3 times a year now. And then from that, I was like, okay, what can I do that is a slightly smaller version of that, but could be open to more people? And that's how the Voicecaster Insiders membership community was born. All of these are things that like I come up with an idea and within a month it's out into the world. Because I just do it. It's like if I sit on it, it's not going to happen. I am not someone who's just going to sit on something. I'm going to make it happen. And the community has been fantastic. Like we have over 200 members and just everybody is very close. Like it's become a great thing. But it's also a membership. And it's also means another subscription fee for people, and it's like not everybody can afford that. So
However, we would like you to pitch that and tell people more about it, because
Yeah.
maybe we have some listeners here that might want to join.
Probably would love to.
Absolutely. I mean, it's only $40 a month. We do, monthly challenges. We do weekly workouts. It's all online. We have an entire platform on Voicecaster Lab with an app. So you can be on the app or you can be on desktop. I post in there 5 days a week. We do themed days. So, today is Monday. So they got a Monday motivation recording from me where it's like, I just present all of these like ideas. So it's career and personal development kind of a thing. Tuesdays, it's always a business post. Wednesdays, I give Wednesday wisdom. So it's usually either tips, tricks, stories about things that have happened in sessions, stuff like that. Thursday, we do Throwdown Thursday. I love alliterations. That's a performance challenge. So I give different performance challenges. Everybody posts their audio. So it's fun to listen to what people are doing. And then Friday is Fist Bump Friday, where we celebrate. We celebrate the small wins from the week, because you never get to see the milestones you're reaching if you just blow past them and on to the next goal. So, so we do have 5 days a week. We're in there. We do have a get feedback section, so you can post demo, website, an audition, anything like that, and get feedback from the casting team as well as other people in the community. I do open office hours twice a month where we just hop on Zoom. It is not recorded, so it's very candid. I can give you all the inside information because I'm not being recorded.
And
so
it will
yeah.
never come back to you.
And then we have a lot of training and stuff in there as well. So, it's like we've done everything from, physical exercises that help your voice to last week we had a tax person come in and talk about, what you can and can't write off and all the, intricacies of doing your taxes as a voice actor. So, yeah, we try to offer a lot of different things, $40 a month. But again, like I said, I know that's not realistic for everybody. And so, something that I am putting together is essentially a mentorship program, where I'm planning on taking probably the first go around. I'll probably do like 3 or 4 people so I can really have enough time with them. But it's going to be, anybody can apply. It's going to be like, basically blind submissions, and yeah, just to dig even deeper into your career. Because a lot of what I do is not just performance, but I focus a lot on the business side and I focus a lot on the mindset side too. My psychology background. So I'm kind of your life coach, career coach, and voiceover coach all in one.
Love it. We all need that. And we will be linking to that in the when we post this and in the liner notes for YouTube and everywhere that this interview is. So be on the lookout for that. Voicecaster.com. Mitch has his finger up and he's thinking of something.
I do have one more before we get wacky with a new type of ChatGPT roulette. You said you write, or you used to write, copy, play. You still write. That's what I want to know.
Nice.
You still get to enjoy that
I am
piece
writing
of
a
it.
book right now, actually.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is it fiction or nonfiction?
Nonfiction, and it's kind of a lot of my teaching. So it's aimed at creatives, so whether it's actors or, writers, artists, entrepreneurs in general. Yeah.
I'm reading it.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing you're going to do the audio book.
I don't know. I probably should, but I don't know. I might hire somebody.
You know a lot of good actors.
Yeah, you got a few of them on the roster, I think. So.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, are we gonna play around now? Is it time for playtime?
I guess I'm ready. There's so many great questions to ask, but
I know.
Gosh, this happens every time.
It's not like we can't have a part 2 somewhere down the road. Now that we're just like best buds with the Kelly Moscinski, she'll just be dying to come back on the show again, and we can ask her all those questions.
She's not busy.
Doesn't have anything else to do.
Part 2
on Monday. Okay.
There you go.
Part 2.
You heard it. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Great. Same times.
All right. But, let's go ahead and hit the pause button, and we'll be back with something a little bit different than what we normally do.
Are we?
Here we are. We're back again. So, a little bit different. Mitch, you want to explain what the heck it is we're doing that's different than what we normally do?
Kelly's brand is directing, casting, and directing. So Kelly decided that she was going to listen to us, read a bad ChatGPT roulette script, and direct us in a way we don't know what's coming. This is going to be a cold read. You guys don't hear that a lot. And then we're going to get some sort of direction. I don't know what that's going to sound like. I'm nervous. As nervous as a rat on the subway, eating
funny.
Subway.
Wow. That could be foreshadowing.
My worst idea ever. Okay.
Here we go.
Hey, you ever think it's weird that we're eating Subway on the subway?
Huh?
No, this is where they grow.
Grow?
Yeah, every 6 stops, a fresh foot-long sprouts under a seat. Well, nature is beautiful.
No, that's definitely mayonnaise. It's not nature.
Mayonnaise is nature if you believe hard enough.
Oh. You know what bugs me?
The bugs?
Well,
They keep trying to unionize, you know?
no. It's why do humans think that we're after their pizza? We have standards.
Exactly. Pizza's floor food. This
Uh-huh.
is artisan garbage.
This sandwich right here has 3 bite marks.
That's texture.
Pretty sure one of those bites was yours, though.
I said artisan.
Hey. Why's that guy staring at us?
Because we're wearing tiny ties?
We're not wearing ties.
Then who's been adjusting my tie all day?
Don't.
No, he's back.
Next up, sandwich.
I guess this is us.
We've lived here our whole lives, though.
Exactly. Home, sweet home. What?
That was a horrible script.
What?
Fantastically terrible.
Yeah,
What is happening?
That
Yeah.
encapsulates ChatGPT to a T. Fantastically terrible.
Exactly why it shouldn't write copy that ends up on the air, right?
Right.
But we do it here.
It's hilarious.
To Brandon
Hilarious.
and to break the
By
rules.
the system.
And that was super fun to see you guys kind of like work your way through. Did you know a third rat was coming in?
No idea.
Where's Third Rat?
Good.
The
They talked
announcer?
about a third rat, and I was like, "Uh-oh, we have to figure out a third rat," and then there was no
Rat.
third rat.
The
Yeah.
frame. All right, so my direction for this next take is you are now Michelin star food critics
Oh.
who happen to be rats.
Yes.
But
Okay.
I want one of
Ratatouille.
you to be aggressively optimistic, and one of you thinks every bite is like a trap. It's going to be poison. It's not okay.
I can
do you wanna
imagine
be?
that Rat 1 makes more sense for the poison.
Yep.
So I'll
Rat
be...
2, you're aggressively
all right.
optimistic.
So,
But you're Michelin star critics.
Michelin star critics. Mm-hmm. Okay. You ready, Mitch?
Yes.
Do you ever think it's weird that we're eating a subway on
No.
the subway?
No. This is where they grow.
Grow?
Yes. Every 6 stops, a fresh foot-long sprouts under a seat. Nature is beautiful.
Oh, no, that's definitely mayonnaise, not nature.
Mayonnaise is nature if you believe hard enough, my young rat friend.
You know what bugs me?
It's the bugs.
Huh?
They keep trying to unionize.
Oh, no, it's why do humans think that we're after their pizza? We just want to review it. We have standards.
Exactly. Pizza is floor food. This is artisan garbage.
That sandwich has 3 bite marks.
And it adds texture.
I'm pretty sure one of those bite marks was yours.
I said artisan.
Hey. Why is that guy staring at us?
Because we are wearing tiny ties.
Well, that's preposterous. We are not wearing tiny ties.
Then who's been adjusting my tie all day?
Oh. No. Don't.
No, he's back. He's back. This is us.
We've lived here our whole lives.
Exactly. Home sweet home.
I'm giving this 2 stars.
Okay. That last part made more sense with those characters.
Yeah.
Or I had read the copy and
I don't know. It still doesn't make any sense to me, but that's cool.
Wow.
So, second time around with your direction.
I love it.
How did we do?
A lot more specific. You guys had, it's like not only now not being a cold read like the first round, but you had more of an intention. So just by adding those little characteristics, no matter how silly they are, it gave you more of an intention, a lot more specific.
Yes. And
Yeah.
not something maybe you'd hear, like most rats you'd hear, you'd hear the teeth. Mm-hmm. And, yeah, most aren't Michelin stars.
Take it a different way.
I don't know why they talk hoity-toity. They'd talk like Anthony Bourdain,
Yeah, I don't know. That's just what came into my head.
Same.
I made a
Same.
choice.
I
I
don't
made a
know why.
choice.
Worked.
Not sure why.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Kelly. This was super fun, this little portion of it, but also the entire interview. It was great to hear your perspective. It was great to hear your story. And, I hope that it was enjoyable to be asked about you and not just about the process, because we sure had fun.
Process.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. This was great.
All right. And well, this will air, a week and a half from now. It's August 3rd. So by the time this comes out, it will literally be a week before we get to see you in Dallas.
Perfect.
So that's going to be cool.
Awesome. I love it.
And then everyone's
Yeah.
going to be like, hey, I can't wait for you to direct me live. Like everyone.
Yeah, can we get that treatment too?
Yeah, we're going to, what's
Because
your number
everyone
again?
listens to us. Everyone.
Everybody, including my aunts and cousins.
Thank you, Kelly. Have a wonderful
Yes.
evening. And thank you to our listeners. And now, the awkward goodbyes.
We have to say goodbye.
That's usually what we do. It's
Time to
traditional.
go.
It's tradition
What?
to say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Say it, Kelly. Say it.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
There we go.